soft plastic jerk baits, guys. 3 ways that I run these with the exclusion of the drop shot. And if you want to watch the drop shot video, you'll see me talking about these all over in there. 3 ways that I run them are this. What you can do, first utilizing a nail weight. Our old friend, the nail weight, right here. Punch this guy into the head, like so. And this weight will vary, guys, if you want to fish a deep, shallow, fast, or slow. That's going to vary. Then what I would do, my preferred method, is I like to use either a 2-aught, 3-aught, 4-aught, depending. We got the giant Castaic Giant Jerky J's 7-inch bait. I run a 5-aught on those. But I like to, if at all possible, I like to nose hook the bait, coming right through the center of the bottom, coming right out the center of the top like this. I like to nose hook it, so I would be tied up here. What the nose hooking does, guys, is it doesn't put a spine in the bait. There's no spine there. What that enables me to do when I twitch the bait is it allows further or softer twitches relay more motion. Okay, so I can go twitch, twitch, and this thing is going to undulate. Downside of this is if you're trying to fish this around weed growth, cabbage beds, you're going to get hung a lot. It'll get stuck in the weeds, and a lot of times if you rip it out, that'll trigger a strike. So it's not necessarily a bad thing. But if you're fighting the weeds, nose hooking's not the thing for you. So what you want to do at that point in time is come in with your offset worm hook and just simple Texas rig again. Come through, you're going to kind of fight that nail weight just a little bit. You're just kind of hugging right next to it. Turn it out and through, and then just find your center. I know you're sick of saying it and me saying it. Everything can be Texas rig, guys. And there you go. Problem with this, though, is now what I've done is I put a spine to the bait. This is now rigid. From here, the hook bend forward is now rigid. What it takes is a little bit more of a snap to make this thing move, whereas before it was spineless all the way back. Great way to do it. Now, this is the technique. These techniques here I use when I'm either in a lake, or if I'm in a river, it's in a very slow moving environment. What I mean by slow moving is the river's not moving very fast. There are times, however, when putting it like this is deadly. And on a lake, we do it as well as a river. Remember how when we talked about the tubes, if you watch the tube segment, putting the tube in, or the ball head jig in the front of the tube? It's the same thing here, guys. We had a tournament last year we did late in the fall, and we had a lot of salmon and steelhead smolts in the river. And I was kind of struggling along, trying to figure out what they were wanting. And I went to my old standby, which was this, and the water was moving fast, and we started catching a lot of fish. Just threading it up on there. Once again, not an exact science, guys. You're going to have to mess around with the ball head to get it to do what you want. 16th, 8ths, 3/16ths, whatever. You're going to mess around with this. With this guy, you throw it out, it's got a fast drop rate. There's nothing here to slow it down, guys. It just plummets. And you snap, reel, snap, snap, reel, snap. You're fishing extremely fast with that. But that right there will get a lot of fish on a reaction bite late in the fall, fishing in the rivers, fishing in the lakes. So don't ever hesitate to throw a soft plastic jerk like that up on a ball head jig. And that'll work awesome for you. Now we do have a couple of things that we do to make things live a little longer. What I mean by that, so you're not going through one pack after another. Folks, I had a buddy of mine over actually last night, and we were talking about soft plastic jerks. He was buying some of the big Castaics, and the way we rig them up nose hook style, he said to me, Seth, do you ever glue the heads of your baits back together? And then right after he said that, he says, oh, you don't have to worry about it. You own a tackle store. It doesn't cost you anything. And I laughed to myself and said, well, it may not cost me quite as much as it costs you to buy the stuff, but it does still cost me. I don't get all that stuff sitting down there for free. So we kind of chuckled about that. And I said, you know, I don't, but I do have a trick that's helping make these things last a little bit longer. So if we had this, guys, right here, and like I said, I love to run it nose hook, so I'd punch my nail weight in there just like we talked about here. And I grab my hook and I thread it up through here like so. Out the center, both top and bottom. So I'm to here right now. Now what tends to happen as you're working this, because you've put a hole in there with the nail weight, so you've weakened it a little bit. The nail weight's got some grippers on it, so it's kind of fighting back, doesn't want to get pushed out. And what tends to happen, guys, when you're casting, guys will get real crazy casting, you know, snapping them real hard. And what happens is this hook starts to tear a gap in here, starts to just rip it out. Remember our old friend that I always talk about, the heavy mono? Here's what you do, guys. Right where that hook bend's going through, this is my 60 pound, and I would use 80 for this. I just didn't have any here with me right now, but it's the same principle. This is 60. Now, this is the fluorocarbon. I use it for my pike leader. Guys, if you don't want to spend $24 for a roll of it, just get some big game, heavy duty, whatever. 60 pounds, 70, 80, whatever. All you're going to do, where that's coming through, you're going to come through like this, punch this in just in front of the hook. So it's basically got tension against that hook, and you're going to punch it out the other side. All I've done is go through there. Now what I'm going to do is just back this off to where it's just inside there. I'm going to come over here with my scissors on this side, and I'm going to cut it. Now what I've done is I've created a peg in there. You can pull and pull and pull, and it will eventually wear out on you, but you're going to get probably 3 to 4 times the use out of it than you would just straight nose hooking it. The reason being is now you've got the hooks going through the plastic this way, so you've got this tension of the hook pulling against it. Then you've crossed it like this, so you've just added one more anchor point in there. So if you want to get some more life out of them, guys, that 100 pound, you're going to see it for a lot of uses. Come through there, anchor that guy in there. They'll last a lot longer for you. You won't be spending quite so much money at AX tackle. Bad for me, good for you.